go, Andy, go, Andy, go, Andy, go, Andy, go. Yay! What's up, y'all? I hope everybody's doing well and doing good. Back with another video. I just wanted to take a quick minute of your time, not too long, to recognize something, to talk about something as far as music, rap music, southern rap music, well, just really rap music in general. But I wanted to take a minute to talk about what I feel is not only just an underrated southern hip hop classic, but just a hip hop classic in general. And that would be Dungeon Family's Even in Darkness album. Me personally, I think it's one of the best albums of all time as far as a collective album. And I think it unfortunately often doesn't get the respect that it deserves when people talk about it. And this video isn't a breakdown of lyrics, a breakdown of beats, production, anything like that. It's just an appreciation, just appreciating what I think is a really good album, a really underrated album from a really good collective. I would say one of the best collectives in hip hop ever. And I think other people have also said this, but when you look at the members comprising this collective, you have to look at people like Organizednoize. So that's Rico, Sleepy, Witchdoctor, and then you have outkast, you have goodiemob, you have Backbone, you have Slim Calhoun, you have coolbreeze, you have Big Rube. Big Rube to me is an underrated MVP of Southern hip hop. A lot of people don't give him the respect that he deserves, but I think, me personally, I believe he can contend, even though I think Big Rube sees himself as more of a poet. I think people see him more as a poet, a spoken word artist, but I think he can contend with a lot of the great MCs as far as Southern MCs and MCs in general. Because me personally, another thing to appreciate is coolbreeze Watch for the Hook. I would contend that if you say, hey, who had the best verse on Watch for the Hook? I think you can throw Big Rube's name in there easily for what he did in the beginning. And a lot of his poems are up there as far as good classic Southern lyricism when he's talked about. I think that Big Rube was a silent, not really even a silent, but I think he was a strong MVP candidate for that Even in Darkness album. A really good album, bolstered by a good single and a good song that had a lot of radio play in Atlanta. Because the only single really was Trans DF Express, but 6 Minutes got some radio play from what I remember. And those were two really good songs, like two great songs. Trans DF Express was a really good one. Just a lot of combination, because, and I think that is another thing when it comes to the Dungeon family. There are so many different styles that fit together so well. Like you can take so many different artists and put them on a song, and the song becomes cohesive. Like it becomes good. Again, if you look at 6 Minutes, even though all these guys are from similar places, Georgia, and they still fit and gel well together. And to me, I think the other thing that separates Dungeon Family from a lot of other hip hop collectives is, again, even though they're all from kind of the same area, the same state, same city, and stuff like that, I feel like each member of Dungeon Family has their own unique thing that they do. Because if you look at Goodie Mob, and I think Goodie Mob and Outkast are prime examples of this. Big Boi doesn't sound like Andre. Andre doesn't sound like Big Boi. Gipp, Khujo, Timo, and CeeLo, they don't sound like each other. They each bring their own different thing to whatever they're doing. CeeLo can harmonize. CeeLo can be melodic. But CeeLo can also rap. Like, don't get it twisted. CeeLo can rap with the best of them. Because if you look at my favorite, I think my personal favorite song on Even in Darkness is Excalibur. And if you look at what Rube and CeeLo did to that, and just the styles that they brought, it was, man. And I think another thing that's really interesting, and that we don't often get our props. Well, I'm not gonna say we because I don't rap, but a lot of Southern artists don't get their props for being extremely conscious. Because a lot of the songs on Even in Darkness, you have there's some trap songs, there's some party songs, there's some this and that songs, but a lot of the lyricism is very conscious. If you look at Excalibur, if you look at Crooked Booty, if you look at Follow the Light, if you look at They Come, like there is a lot of consciousness and conscious rap on this album. Like, and not just from, because I think a lot of times we underappreciate, not just from the artists that you expect. Like, I think a lot of people expect Andre to be just that one conscious guy. But it's, even Big Boy has his conscious lyricism. Even Timo, even Git, Khujo has a lot of conscious lyricism. I think Khujo has always had conscious lyricism, but there is a lot of conscious rap on this album, and it doesn't go appreciated often the way that it doesn't go appreciated the way that it should. But Dungeon Family, Even in Darkness, such a good album, man. Like I'm really surprised it doesn't get brought up or talked about as far as collective albums. And I think Dungeon Family, I think we're going to appreciate the Dungeon Family and the collective and what they did more as time goes on, because I think you often see the influence later, or what happens is we attach the influence to other things. Because if you look at it, Future is attached to the influence of the Dungeon Family because Future was a member of the Dungeon Family. He was second generation Dungeon Family. So he gets that, and he's a part of that influence. Even though he wasn't, as far as I know, he wasn't on the Even in Darkness album. Maybe he might have had some background vocals, or he might have done some writing, but I didn't hear him. But still, a lot of greatness on this album, and I think this is an album that should be hoisted up. It's an album that we should be talking about as far as good Southern albums, because it's a great album. Like, from start to finish, it is a great album. And lyrics wise, production wise, there's just so much good about this album. And again, the collective, everybody brought their own unique style. Because another thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently is I think oftentimes we don't appreciate certain members of a group when we really should. Because I think Timo is, from what I've seen, I can't say this is the case, but I think Timo is one of those underappreciated members of Goodie Mob. Because I think most of the time when people think Goodie Mob, they think Khujo, Gipp, and CeeLo. And really, for a while, it was just really CeeLo. And I think that is a great four-member collective, one of the greatest four-member collectives of all time, and one that should be appreciated. Like, it's so many people in the Dungeon Family that really should be appreciated, and they should really get put up. As far as, like, if we look at the Hall of Fame of Atlanta, the Hall of Fame of Atlanta rap music, if you really think about it, and I think I saw somebody say this, it was a discussion between Dope Boy Raw and somebody else, and they were talking about the Mount Rushmore, the top five in Atlanta. If you really think about it, you could really put Georgia in general. If you really think about it, you could really put at least 6 or 7 members of the Dungeon Family in that upper echelon, in that Hall of Fame, like 1 through 6, 1 through 10. Because me personally, I think you can put Andre at number 1. That's my personal opinion. Other people may say this and that, but I think you can put Andre at number 1. And then going down the line, you can put Big Boy 2, CeeLo 2, or Big Boy 3, CeeLo 3, any other way. I think you can put Big Rube in there somewhere, like I said. You can put killermike up there. You can put Backbone in there. You can put Gipp. You can put Khujo. You can put Timo. You can put coolbreeze. You can put, like, all these different artists. And even though some of these artists don't have as large as a catalog, you still have to look at the impact that they had just off of what they were able to do. So I think, again, when we go back and we look at this Even in Darkness album, you got to prop it up. Like, you have to put this album up there. And again, this may be Southern bias, this may be Atlanta bias coming from me, but this was such a good album. Like, just if you go back, if you haven't heard it in a while, go back, take a minute, listen to Dungeon Family's Even in Darkness. Because again, even just the way that it starts off, like from start to finish, and the way they did stuff, even like the little interludes and stuff that they put in there. The people don't use our music to get high; they use our music to get by. Like, that was so cool, so dope. And the Marta speaker thing, the kind of where the TransEF Express was going, that was dope. But just again, such a dope group, such a dope group, such a dope group that really just needs to be appreciated. Big Rube, another just a Southern Atlanta artist legend who deserves props. I want to make sure that Big Rube gets his flowers, because I think he often goes underappreciated by rap in general. Because I think a lot of Southern people, we appreciate Big Rube. A lot of people from Atlanta, we appreciate Big Rube. But I think when you look at rap as a whole, rap as a worldwide thing, he doesn't get the flowers that he deserves. And Big Rube deserves flowers. Big Rube, whether he's a spoken artist, a poet, a rapper, as an artist, he deserves his flowers. He deserves his props. He deserves to be spoken among the greats, whether it's Southern hip hop or hip hop in general. So again, I just want to say, Dungeon Family, Even in Darkness, such a good album, such an album that needs to be appreciated. Big Rube, an artist. Me personally, I think that he was the MVP. Not even a silent MVP. He was the MVP of the Even in Darkness album. Because what he did on Excalibur was just amazing. Just an amazing spoken word, lyrics, whatever. He killed the song Excalibur. If you haven't heard it in a while, go back, listen to Even in Darkness, and listen to Excalibur. Go back, listen to Watch for the Hook, listen to the beginning of Watch for the Hook to make sure you get Big Rube's part. Just wanted to take a quick minute of your time to talk about that album, and as far as it should be in the halls of great rap in general. It should be in the Hall of Fame of Southern rap, and it should be appreciated. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. Again, go listen to these. They may not even need your views, your listens, but go listen to these artists. Appreciate these artists. Give these artists their flowers. They deserve it. And give whoever their flowers. If you want to give somebody their flowers, just give them their flowers. It's appreciate your people. Appreciate your people. That's what I want to end on, is just making sure you appreciate your people, big, small. You don't have to idolize these celebrities, but it's okay. If you want to give them their flowers, that's fine. If you want to give the people, your local people, the people in your family, your friends, give them their flowers. Appreciate your people. When they do good stuff, appreciate them. And yeah, so I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the support. I appreciate the people that continue to watch the videos, support the channel and everything like that. And as we continue to move forward in this channel and we continue to grow, I'm thankful. I'm really just thankful for you guys. And I hope you guys have a good one. Hope you're blessed in whatever you may be doing. And peace out.